The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So today is May 15th. It's a Tuesday. And we had a little bit of technical difficulty with one of the microphones, so we just switched mics. All right, hold on, Jimmy. I'm going to continue to Facebook Live while I am trying to fix this. All right, so there we go. We got it. Okay, so a bunch of our friends are coming on. Jeffrey Campbell, Chris DePiero, Isabella Raskowski, Ben Cameron, Jay Rivera, the Reardons, Jason Peck, Jeffrey Campbell, John Bray, Rena Crignelli. Hi, everybody. Sorry we started. Kenny Green. We started late, but we're here now. So I want to thank Jim Bell of Armed Radio because he helped us out. One of our mics wasn't working, but we switched over to the other one. And I want to thank Catherine Salvio, who was the first person, my friend, who told me you should have two different systems on two different computers in case this ever happens. And at 44 episodes, and this is the first time it's happened. So thank you, Catherine Salvio. It might be all this jazz stuff. All right. So first of all, we want to thank Armed Radio. Armed Radio is the mothership, as we say, and this is what carries our show. It reaches, goes across the country in 60 other countries, and we want to thank Armed Radio. So if you want to listen live to our show through your computer or through your radio, it's armeddigitalmedia.com. Otherwise, and we also Facebook Live every week, and hopefully it works, and it's working. Okay, so my guests this week are Joshua Stephen Cardis and Emma Stevenson. And why did I put them together? Because I usually have a method to my madness. I put them together because they are both young jazz infused. I keep using that word infused because they do a lot of different things. They musically direct, they're songwriters, they play a lot of different types of music, pop, musical theater. But what I always hear as a singer when I work with them is these beautiful jazz chords. And then when I've heard them play at other venues and things like that, then I'm very moved by those beautiful chords that you play. So let's keep saying hello to people. Maria Figliomani has joined us, Brendan Doherty,
Judy.
Dave Downs, Judy Mesa. Hi, Judy. Robin Carroll, Irina Van Wells. Hi, everybody. Jazz hands. That's right, jazz hands. Thank you, Judy. All right. So let's start with, you know what? I want to start with Emma because Emma is our Australian representative. And Emma and I have been working downtown now in Piano Bar for a little bit off and on. You fill in for Darius a lot at Singer Spotlight Night.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
So much fun.
And I got to tell you, Emma, that is not an easy gig.
No, it's always on the brink of chaos, but that's why I love doing it.
Yes, it is on the brink. I love that, the brink of chaos. And
It's great. It's such a thrill.
long hours. And Singer Spotlight Night is usually, we all sing, the staff all sings, but people get up and sing.
Yes.
And sometimes they can sing and sometimes not
That's
so
what
much.
I mean by the chaos.
Yeah.
I know.
Not you. You always.
No, I'm not worried about that. But what I always find is that you are very level-headed.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if that's how you feel, but that's how it comes across.
That's how I try to come across.
Yes, and you're very sweet. And even if it's 4 a.m. and it's that last drunk person, you always are very cordial.
You know, where I'm from in Sydney, Australia, there's nothing like that piano bar. So for me to have people there until 4 a.m. listening and singing along is like such a pleasure. I'm just so grateful.
And you
Yeah,
you
I
just
love it.
fill in there, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you work at other piano bars?
Yes, I'm doing the first Thursday happy hour at Sid Gold's request.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know,
Sid
I've
Gold's
never
request.
been there. What's the date that you're going to be there?
So the first Thursday, I believe, is June the 7th. We'll have to
June the
check
7th.
that. Let me look at my calendar.
And what's your schedule like there? Because I've never been there. So what's the
Well-
difference between other piano bars and Sid Gold's?
It's quite similar to what we have going on at the Duplex downtown. So
Okay.
it's a lot of live karaoke, so people get up and sing, and then I sing in between. But mainly it's just whatever people feel like doing. We try and do a bit of everything. There's song lists on all the tables, so people.
Your song list, or just that they
My
have
song
a
list.
certain?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know some places have, like I know Dueling Pianos. We talked about
Yep.
this. They have certain song lists that they play back and forth. But in kind of in piano bar and open mic, you have to be ready to play whatever people want to hear, right?
Yes. So I do the best I can when someone asks me for a song that I've heard like 3 years ago. I do what I can, but you know it's hard to learn every song.
Oh, of course. But you have you have your iPad. You both.
iPads are helpful. Yeah.
And you pull up a lot. Do you pull up a lot of music live and just try to find it?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. And then,
Well,
yeah. Roll with
Okay.
it. Trust the people that wrote the charts.
Well, not always the ones that put the chord charts online on like guitartabs.com.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are not
that's
always
true,
trustworthy,
too.
but
Yeah.
they're useful as well in a pinch. So
So Scott Fagan has joined us. Suzanne Mason, Belle Parker. Hi, Belle. Happy birthday. I know you had a birthday just like, 2 days ago, I think, right? She's in Wisconsin. She knows Steve Watts.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. We
oh,
miss Steve.
We do miss Steve. Steve's one of those pop-in piano players. He'll just he'll pop into town, work on a show or something, and then we'll sub in. So and Joshua, that's how we met. We met in piano bar originally.
Yes,
And you do it, but you're both doing so many things. So let's slide over to Joshua now.
yeah, sure.
And Josh, so we met doing that. And were you doing just piano bar at the time?
I think because I had just moved to New York. This
From
was
where?
I spent 5 years in Chicago before I moved here. After college, I was in Chicago for 5 years, also working in theater. But I moved to New York in 2009, and shortly after I was here, shortly after I survived one holiday season via ramen noodles and a quick turnaround back to Michigan to record a Christmas album that I pre-sold to my
Did you
friends.
keep your apartment when you did the turnaround?
I was still in the same place. I was able to stay there, but I found I just ended up in the West Village shortly after I moved here, and was brought into the duplex by some folks and played, and that was
You
kind
played
of the
the
first.
upstairs too. You played that what was that called? Oh, the Sondheim.
Yeah, that was later. I originally got in as a sub, and then ended up with Tuesday nights regularly
With Katie
going forward
Cass,
with Katie Cass,
who we
yeah.
love. Sometimes
Also in
Katie
Wisconsin
pops
right
on.
now. Is she? Oh,
Sometimes she'll pop on the show
oh
and
yeah,
say
yeah,
hi.
yeah.
Or Katie's family in Wisconsin. Belle's from Wisconsin, so she knows. And but then I remember there was a time where you started working on other shows.
Yeah,
A lot of other shows,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I kind of the element of exposure when you're playing in public places is a useful thing, and so it started
Absolutely.
actually from my gigs in the West Village, but then it blossomed out from there. I mean, between then and now, I've amassed quite a number of
Yeah.
ongoing projects that are really great.
So how long have you been in the city now?
It'll be 9 years this August.
And-
August, yeah.
And how about you, Emma? How many years have you been here?
9 months.
9 months. Oh wow, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just kind of like at the beginning of finding your way. So you started to get hired right away. 9 months is a short.
The Duplex was like one of the first
Yeah.
lovely venues that took me under their wing and helped me out. So, yeah. So
That's a
you know,
really
just
short
building
time to
things
just
up slowly.
jump in and start playing. What would you say? Danny Cohen has joined us. Hi, Danny Cohen. Laura Metz has joined us. Elvira Federico John Campo has joined us. Hi, everybody. So what would you say is, because you must have been one of these people that just got right out there and just Do you really audition as a piano player, or do you just tell people?
Well,
How does one audition as a piano player?
I came here as a jazz pianist.
Oh.
That was actually on my visa application because I studied jazz piano.
Okay.
Moving here from the
I love
Lake
it. I
and
love it.
Landslide.
It's my favorite thing about the way you play.
Thank you. So I came here, as a jazz pianist, but I knew when I came here that I wanted to try and get into the piano bar scene a bit more because I've always loved to sing and play, and I love to entertain people, and I love to play all styles of music, not just jazz. So that was kind of what I was chasing as soon as I got here, were the gigs at the piano bars, and so far it's been working out and a lot of fun. So.
All right. So we just need to bring up our voices. That's what the radio station is telling us. So we'll bring up our voices. Okay. So you studied jazz piano.
Yes, I did a 4-year performance degree. In
Wow.
jazz piano. Yeah.
How does someone your age just get? I don't know. When I think of jazz, I don't think of people your age for some reason.
Yeah, well, when I was 15, I went to this thing in Sydney called Jazz Camp. And it was a bunch of young musicians, and most of us didn't really know what we were getting in for. But what I loved about it was the communal spirit and the individual personal self-expression that jazz allows. And as I realized that, the word jazz doesn't really apply to just one style of music anymore. Like a lot of people will think Ella Fitzgerald and, Frank Sinatra and Charlie Parker, but nowadays you can play anything, and if you're improvising and you've got a sort of group focus, but you're also allowing people to have their own individual self-expression, I mean, to me, that all falls under the banner of jazz. So that's why I can bring it to piano bar gigs quite easily.
Love it. I love it. And Joshua, now, so did you have a similar experience as a young person, as a young musician?
I feel like I was actually just kind of given all sorts of permission to expose myself to all sorts of music, basically from childhood, because I'm from a family that we all play at least one musical instrument, and
That's
we all
amazing.
sing.
Do you play another instrument besides piano?
I do, yeah. I'm a singer. I'm a pianist primarily, but I play violin and viola.
I didn't know that.
I play a little bit of percussion here and there. I actually know via a colleague of mine in the Midwest. I know rudimentary hammer dulcimer.
What's that?
It's like a trapezoid shaped box with strings all across it.
Oh, that's
hit it
what
with
it's
hammers, and it's called a hammer dulcimer is the name for it that most people that have seen the instrument would know. It has other names in other countries, but
wow.
I actually just played a gig.
When I think of that instrument, I think of country music.
Yeah, well,
right?
Yeah, it's an Appalachian traditionally it would be played in more Appalachian music.
So Dolly Parton would be hitting
She probably knows what it is.
She probably knows how to
She probably
play.
plays it. I don't know.
She does probably know.
But I just did a gig last night where I was music directing from the keyboard, but 2 songs. I swung around, picked up my violin, swung my vocal mic over, and started playing. So yeah.
Where was that?
Ridgefield, Connecticut, actually. So
okay, so I want, which brings me to I want to find out what you both are doing right now.
Yeah, sure.
So Emma, let's go back. I know you have a big gig coming up. So tell us about that.
Sure. So part of what I'm here in New York City to do
You have to just bring up your voice a little bit because we keep getting little.
Sure. Part of what I'm here in New York City to do is to pursue my own music, my own original music. So on the 24th of June, I'm doing a gig with some lovely people, and including my boyfriend, who's a great jazz drummer, and
I didn't know of this boyfriend. This is a new development. The jazz drummer boyfriend. Yeah. Well,
we've been together 8 years.
Now the plot thickens.
And my wonderful friend Olivia Chindamo, who is an amazing jazz singer. I would definitely recommend everyone check her out. She moved over from Melbourne, Australia, just a week after we did. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you played together.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to be performing some music from my album, which features a different singer.
Okay. So before you do that, I want to put up Emma's. This is how you can find Emma. It's EmmaGraceStephenson.music.com. That's EmmaGraceStephenson. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a no.
Music. Oh, I spelled it
You
wrong.
actually
Son of Stephen with a PH.
Your
Okay.
domain name is even longer than mine.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So the Stephen is STEPHENSON.com.
Music.com.
Music.
Music.com.
Okay. Music.com.
Yeah.
That's right. It's all
All right, so we'll show that again at the end. And sometimes people pop those things on in the Facebook feed. And hi, Connor. Connor has joined us. Julie Cesaria has joined us. Hi, everybody. All right, so we're talking jazz. We're talking young musicians. We're talking coming to New York City and letting people know what you do. So now you have that gig coming up. Did you have, because I know here, we all kind of know each other, like a lot of you musicians, it's a community.
It ends up happening.
Right?
Disparate places when you can, there is especially like the jazz piano. I mean, I am just kind of new into that scene, I feel like a little bit myself. But pianists in general tend to find each other pretty quickly in this town.
And
I see a number of them have popped up on the feed.
Yeah.
You need to know who to call.
Oh my God, there's Leo Rodriguez now. Leo Rodriguez.
Oh.
Rodriguez.
There's a O in there where it should be an I though. Music.com.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
That's all right though.
That's
Close
okay.
enough.
Leo just fixed the I in music. Well, Leo is a songwriter, so he is at work. He's sneaking now. He does this, and then he helps us out. So Joshua's website.
Yeah, I do have a website. It's
under construction.
I'm kind of retweaking it, and it'll soon be. Hopefully soon it'll be a new website. But for now, that has a little bit of information on it. So
Okay, so
you
and
can
we're
still
always
go there.
updating our websites and doing
Yeah.
stuff like that. So and also I find that especially you, because I don't know you long enough, Emma, but I find both of you to be the type of people that are very helpful, even if it's last minute, in helping out other piano players.
Yeah.
Would you put yourself into that category
Well,
of like gun
it's
for
always a
hire?
pleasure to play music. So.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you know what? Not everybody feels, maybe that's a jaded thing. It is always, I feel that too. I feel like it's always a privilege, to be asked. And then if you have time, then you do it. But I know a lot of people are like, I can't. Hi, Cliff Saunders. Cliff Saunders. Oh my goodness. He's in Canada. Cliff is my great friend. Cliff, when are you coming back to the States? He's an amazing actor. He was in 39 Steps and Les Mis on Broadway. And he's so great and funny. When are you coming back to New York, Cliff? I hope he comes soon. Then you'll have to do the show. Juan Felipe has come down.
Juan, I haven't seen you in ages.
Well, Juan was on the show. He was on the show with Judy Mesa. So it's great that both of you have good attitudes about that, because I find that it's easy to get burnt out, and so that's one thing. And then you take care of being burnt out. But like you said before the show started, that you hit a place where you knew that you had to switch up your life.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
It was pretty quick when it happened. As I mentioned, I started mainly in nightlife down in the West Village. I was basically living there. I wish I had just like a cot somewhere in a back room, because it would have made it so much easier. But at the peak of like when I was doing nightlife entertainment stuff, it was 4, sometimes 5 nights a week all across town.
And the piano players are singing the most.
Yeah, and I mean, well, especially that one, because it's a 7-hour shift.
That's
and
a long
it's all
shift.
singing. That was the only time that I had to sing for 7 straight hours. But
Can you imagine?
Even then, playing the piano, I think the number of hours of piano playing late night and high octane, just having to entertain the crowd and the room and being awake and up the whole time. It eventually, I just kind of realized that I wanted to go into some other lines of work in the music world that required me to be up in the morning and have my days available.
Yeah,
and,
I remember having that conversation with you.
It was a pretty abrupt transition, and it was a risky one, I guess, because at the time my income was entirely nightlife, and so I was definitely taking a bit of a risk. But
that's what people don't realize sometimes, is when you get used to that the schedule, and also you get used to the money that you're used to making every week from a steady gig. And then it gets shifted around. It's quite an adjustment.
Yeah.
But there is no way to take the risk unless you got to just jump off the cliff.
Yeah, you just have to do it.
Yeah. So I remember you doing that. Hi, Adam Chandler.
Hey, Adam.
There's Heidi. Hi, Heidi. How are you? Oh my goodness, my friend B. Michael has joined us. Congratulations. B. Michael is an amazing designer, just amazing. He has a line at Macy's, that's how, and designs for incredible people like Cicely Tyson and Brandy, remember, and Felicia Rashad. And anyway, we just saw each other at Mess Hall because. So we wanted to also Mess Hall. We want to give a shout out to Mess Hall. One of our friends is the co-owner there, Shanna Sharp, and she's going to be on the show again with Siren soon.
Oh, nice.
And that's where I saw B again. He and Mark Anthony came in to see me this weekend. So thank you, B. Tom Greenleaf has joined us. And so it's sometimes we were talking about this beforehand because Emma, we worked together last night, and she's the first thing she said was, "Did you sleep at all?" Because you saw my promo. My promo for the show was at 5:30 in the morning, and then I went home, slept a little bit, got up, did some errands, and here I am. So it's kind of the way we live on naps. But I got to tell you, I love sleeping. So when I do get to sleep, that's all I need, just a little bit of sleep.
Quality over quantity.
Now, are you both songwriters?
I'm a lazy, latent songwriter, aka I do and I enjoy writing, but I have just kind of fallen into that lazy comfort zone of music directing and arranging and orchestrating everybody
That's
else's
a lot
music.
of work. That's a lot of
So,
work. Yeah, I wouldn't put that under lazy.
I
would put
miss
that under-
writing, and I am a
You have to
writer.
prioritize.
But I mean, my degree actually is in music composition.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I don't put it to very good use, but sadly I don't. But
Well, I wouldn't say
There's
that.
plenty
Yeah,
of
there's
time.
plenty of time.
yeah,
And you know what I find about writing? When it's time to write, you're going to be bursting with things to write.
yeah.
It doesn't just. I could never just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to write something.
And that's the thing, I can't do that.
Unless
I
you're
have to
commissioned,
have-
that's different.
Yeah.
If you're commissioned to write something,
Yes.
it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah,
too.
it happens very fast at that
Right.
point.
You have to get it
So
done.
there's certain motivations in place.
And Emma, when did you
Yeah.
start writing?
Yeah.
Because you're a writer. When did you start writing?
I was always writing songs as a teenager. I don't think I would ever want to play any of them that I was writing when I was that age to anyone now. But and then I had my jazz training, and I sort of took a bit of time off songwriting, and now I'm trying to blend the two together. So a lot of my songwriting is very much influenced by jazz improvisation and like modern jazz rhythm stuff. So
I love
I
it.
feel like
love
it's a
it.
combination, and we're always soloing and improvising in my songs. So it's kind of a combination between the songwriting thing coming out of Billy Joel and Elton John and Joni Mitchell, and then
Yeah.
I
those
love
good
all
folks.
those people.
Yeah,
and then
all
like
those
Herbie
folks.
Hancock and Chick Corea.
I
and,
love
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock was one of my favorite jazz artists growing up.
Awesome.
One of my favorite. And I love John Coltrane, of course.
Yes.
Love-
And Keith Jarrett actually is probably my
Keith
favorite
Jarrett.
jazz pianist.
I don't know if I know
He-
Keith Jarrett.
Oh, Keith Jarrett.
He has these tracks,
Yeah?
it's just like 20, 30 minutes long, just like going around improvisationally, and they're really like otherworldly.
amazing.
Just sit there and just listen for 20 minutes, and you're just like, huh.
Okay, we have to take a moment because my cousin Gina Savino has joined us. And when Gina Savino joins us, we clap. Gina Savino has joined us. And Leo is right there behind you, Gina. So anyway, we have a lot of people that come on week after week after week. Hi, Scotty Silver. Scotty Silver has joined us. So we're talking to, let me just let people know that have just joined us. We're talking to Emma Stevenson. She is from Australia, and she lives here now and works as a musician and as a songwriter and all kinds of great things. And Joshua Stephen Cardis, you're from Chicago, right?
I'm not, originally from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your family's still there?
They are all still there. Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of families, Emma, I met your dad a few weeks ago.
My lovely dad.
He's so nice.
He is. He's great.
And he came in with you at the beginning of the shift and stayed
Last night.
all night.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. Stayed all night.
Well,
That's a good dad.
so much of that music was the songs he used to play in the car when I was a kid.
I was going to ask you that because I was looking over at him at certain songs that are more of my generation.
Yeah.
And I thought, and he loved them all. And I thought, I wonder if, because you're way younger than me. And I was like, I wonder if she was hearing those because I learned so much from what my dad would play,
Yeah.
and my Uncle Nicky and all those guys, Michael Johnny,
Yeah, the stuff that you grow up with.
the stuff you grow
Yeah.
up with.
You're
Yeah.
familiar with it, and I mean, I feel like that will always be the sort of music that I feel the most sort of at home with.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
who are those artists? Like Carole King, definitely, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw
well,
your dad love that when he would play karaoke.
My dad and I. This is actually only a recent discovery, but if he had discovered it a few years ago, I think we would have been listening to it in the car. The song "And So It Goes" by Billy Joel
Sure,
is one that
beautiful.
we've both just recently decided is our new favorite song.
Mhm.
But my dad used to play people like Crowded House in the car.
Crowded House.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
we like to pretend that they're Australian, but they're actually from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh,
New
okay.
Zealand.
We won't say. Don't tell anybody.
My
Everybody,
dad, yeah.
don't tell anybody.
My dad introduced me to Elton John. He actually bought me a
One of my-
greatest hits
Yep.
compilation when I was about 10, and that's what made me want to play and sing at the same time.
And you know
So-
what? It's funny that you said that because when I hear Elton John, I automatically go to my teenage years, and because I'm
Yeah.
probably closer to your dad's age, and I love. But you, if you have the time, go back and listen to album tracks
Yes.
Mhm.
because those like
Yes.
the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, oh my God, Caribou. Madman Across the Water. These were albums that I listened to that really got me to really love music. The album cuts, not so much the singles. Singles are great, but it's just some of the stuff
Yeah.
that he wrote. And I loved Stevie Wonder. Those were my two
Yeah.
biggest
He's one
influences.
of my biggest influences to this day.
Stevie
actually,
Wonder, yeah. And that's very jazz infused.
Right. The concert that I just did in Connecticut, actually, I guess I can mention my Broadway Sings concert.
Well, you
series.
can mention
Um,
anything you want.
Yeah.
Please tell us
'cause
about that.
You mentioned Stevie Wonder.
2
and it
seconds. I
connected.
want to say hello to Leah Sutton. Hi, Leah Sutton. Kimberly Hicks and Joy Elizabeth McNaughton have also joined us. So tell us about what you're working on now, which is the Broadway Sings.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing project since 2012. Corey Mock is my kind of partner in crime when it comes to this concert series. We met at Mostly Sondheim in 2012, probably February or March. And then April came around and we did our first concert. We didn't plan on it being a series at that point. We just had a group of Broadway performers and a small band at that point, and I wrote new orchestrations and arrangements at the time of Adele songs because she was new and big, and we did this concert, and it was at Le Poisson Rouge, and the response was great. And then we had media and producer types coming up to us afterwards saying, "When's the next one, and who's the next
Wow.
artist going to be?"
But you
So-
hadn't planned the next one.
No, and now here we are in 2018, and we've done about 16 or 17 concerts,
Really?
and I now have 11-piece band, horns and strings, 5-piece rhythm, 3 backup singers, and a rotating cast of.
And
at
where
16 at a time
can people
singers.
see and hear this?
We're usually when we have new concerts, and the next one coming up is June, and I can't believe I can't think of it right now. I'll tell you right now. It's the music of Kelly Clarkson,
Wow.
arranged and orchestrated by me and featuring 16 Broadway performers, is June 18th. It's a Monday night when most of the Broadway folks are dark.
And where is it?
It's at the Highline Ballroom.
Which is in New York City. It's I think
on
it's
16th Street, I
16th
think.
Street
Yeah,
and
16th or
like
17th.
10th,
Over around 10th.
between
yeah.
10th and 9th.
And that'll be that.
That's a great song. That's a
night.
huge space.
It's a great room. Yeah, we have a good time, and we just did full circle. We were in Connecticut with this series. We do.
And how can people get tickets to that?
To the Broadway, to the
Just-
Kelly Clarkson one coming up. Go to. There's 2 places I think that have information. The first one being the Highline Ballroom website. Highline
Okay.
Ballroom. You can Google it. I think it's highlineballroom.com if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But also our concert series has a website, Broadway Sings Concert, with no spaces or underscores, BroadwaySingsConcert.com as well. And you can get tickets from various places. We just reprised our 2013 Stevie Wonder concert
Wow.
in Ridgefield
I
Playhouse in
love-
Connecticut last
that's-
night, and that was a lot of fun.
If
So,
I had to pick one songwriter to listen to for
Yeah.
the rest of my life, it would be Stevie Wonder.
yeah, there's not
Just
there's-
amazing.
He's remarkable, and
So Joe Savino has joined us. Joe Savino, he says a redhead is my favorite color. I knew, Joe, I don't know why I knew that, but I did. Everybody loves redheads. Redheads are the most popular, I think. I think Shanna Sharp, one of our friends, dyed her hair once. She was a blonde
right.
and dyed it red, and all of a sudden everybody was like, Shanna? She was like, all I did was dye my hair red. But
We had a
William,
famous redhead in the club last
oh
night.
right, let's talk about that. That was
Who was
crazy.
Um,
So last night, yeah, and we all thought it was, but then
we played it super cool.
we played totally cool, and then Emma, when I got up to sing, Emma was like, "Do you know what that is?" So it was. Go ahead, Emma. Tell everybody who that
It
was.
was Christina Hendricks.
Who is-
I think
Yeah.
The famous redhead
Mad Men.
from Mad Men was in the club last
Just as
night.
gorgeous in real life, I have to say.
Aw.
She sounds
And
amazing
just
Whoopi. It was
As
fun.
intriguing
Yes.
there's something so intriguing about her.
There are two things that are.
Well, you know what? I know what the obvious two things are, but that's true. I mean, she had a very low cut dress on. Joe, you would have loved it. Oh my
no.
God, Joe, you would have loved it. It was. I was telling Judy today. She's everything you think she would be. Like, you know, when you see a character on television and they play a certain character, and you think, but then you meet them in real life and they're very different from their character. She's pretty close to that character.
Really lovely too. I really
Very,
liked her.
very nice.
Heaps of fun.
Yeah, and she got up and sang, and very intriguing. Yeah, so Christina, what's her name again?
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
I
So
believe,
from Mad
yes.
Men, the redhead from Mad Men.
Very
Yeah,
exciting.
Joe, you would have lost your mind. William Blake has joined us. David Downs. Hi, David Downs. Okay, you know
Let's
what?
get
He's
down to
right. Let's
brass
get down to
tacks.
brass tacks. What's for dinner? Thank you for helping me with the segue because we're talking and time is flying by.
I just keep
Okay.
looking over at it. I'm just like,
Okay, so he's right. Now, David Downs, thank you for that. I am going to segue into our food section, which is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. All right, and every week I cook for my guests, and this week so many things happened, which I won't talk about, but it was one of those really hellish weeks where you just literally want to hide and just, it was a crazy week. And all I was craving was comfort food. When I get stressed out, that's what I want. Even though we're segueing it into summer, I felt like comfort food. So what I
is
made
there ever
was,
a wrong time for comfort food?
no, there isn't. But sometimes
is.
summer food is a little lighter. So what I made was I was going to make turkey, right? And then I went to make my turkey today and it wasn't defrosted and I threw it out. So I went and bought chicken and I made like a Thanksgiving chicken kind of combo. So I cooked chicken with cranberries
Yeah.
and onions and peas all sauteed together with some garlic and delicious flavors. And then I made garlic mashed potatoes. So it is on there, and I have gravy. I made gravy. So we have gravy that we can pour all over this if we like. Then, of course, you know, I love a nice salad. Everybody that knows me knows I love a nice salad. So don't worry, there's no romaine in here. I know romaine is the enemy.
Yeah. No egg, no romaine.
Until they get their act together. We have a nice mezcal salad, just delicious greens and baby greens with some orange peppers and some Persian cucumbers. So that we will have with a nice balsamic vinegar
Jeez.
and an extra virgin olive oil and some spices. That'll be delicious. And what is close to the ultimate comfort food? Chocolate cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get much more comfort than it was either that or I was going to buy an apple pie, and then I went with the cupcakes. So we have the cupcakes today. So David Downs, I hope I have made you proud, and I hope you like what we have for dinner. And I have a ton of it. James Kissam has joined us. Joe Savino is saying we'll do that. Oh, okay. Joyce's, which is where Gina and Joyce work, and that's where Joe gets his haircut, is 132 Ferry Street in Everett. They are hairdressers.
Who needs a haircut? Sorry.
Do you need a haircut?
I guess I do.
Well, let me tell you, I know more
Is that what you're
hairdressers
trying
than
to
most.
say?
No, he's talking about Gina and Joyce, and that's where he usually Facebook Lives from while he's getting his hair did. So, David, did you like that? Thank you. Go for the gravy. I'm definitely going for the gravy. I love gravy. So, Joe Savino said, friggin' awesome. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. If Joe likes the food and Dave likes the food, we're all set. If the straight guys say the food is good, it's good. All right. So, okay. So let's talk about food for a second.
Sure.
So growing up, what were some of the things, because you said it's never a wrong time for comfort food.
Oh, gosh, no.
Joshua, what are some of the foods that growing up that you just loved?
You know, it's funny. My parents will ask me what I want for dinner whenever I'm home for Christmas or whatever. And one of the things that I invariably suggest to my mom is mom's meatloaf. And
I love meatloaf.
The reaction is always so funny because out of all the things she'll say, out of all the things, meatloaf, really? And I say, you don't understand. Like, no one likes meatloaf. I actually kind of do like meatloaf.
I love meatloaf.
But a lot of people don't like meatloaf.
I can't believe you said that.
Unless it's their mom's meatloaf.
Right. My mother used to make a great meatloaf.
So,
but that in my house was considered American food.
no.
Which you couldn't have American food while my dad was there because he was very much. We had to have Italian food, and you had to love anything your mother made. So on Thursday nights when my dad worked late at the shop, because my dad is also a hairdresser, my mother would let us have whatever we wanted of American food. So we used to sneak, and she sometimes would make us a meatloaf. It's one of my favorite things. And when I'm in a really bad mood, I have a meatloaf sandwich with extra gravy.
It's so good. That and my dad used to make beef stroganoff.
Oh, that's delicious.
And that was also very good.
So both your parents cooked.
Well, yes, they're not they cook and they know what they're doing when it comes to putting food things together. I never got any of that skill set. I am terrified of kitchens.
Really? Oh, I love it. Today was I was totally winging it because I was so mad at myself because I didn't defrost the turkey, and I thought, it just didn't work. And I said, damn it, I wanted a turkey dinner. So I went and got chicken, and I created a turkey dinner in a pan. So with the chicken, I just
It looks awesome.
Thank you. I made enough for your dad. You're going to take some home to your dad.
Awesome.
Because I invited him last night, Gary.
Yes, he's just so tired because he stayed up till 5, and he hasn't done that for. I don't think he's done that in decades.
Wow. Yeah.
I know. Joe, I'm so glad you love the menu tonight. That makes me happy. Okay, so Emma, but growing up, what was some of the foods that you loved?
Well, in Australia, we don't really have like an Australian food thing going on.
Sure you do. It's called Vegemite.
We have Vegemite. I love Vegemite.
What is Vegemite?
We have Weet-Bix. I don't know if that's an Australian thing or an English
But I
thing.
remember that from the song, right? A Vegemite sandwich. What was the name of that group? Men at Work.
Men at Work. Do they have a song about Vegemite?
Well, they mentioned
she
Vegemite.
Just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Well, so what is a Vegemite sandwich?
It's a dark-colored thing that you spread on toast quite thinly, and it's just yeast extract, so it's salty. And
is it good?
It actually
I love
is
it.
good.
Yeah, you can put it with. I would recommend it with cheese.
Okay.
And a couple of slices of tomato. It's also really good with avocado.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Judy would love that.
I've never done
Judy
that.
wants to go to Australia.
Yeah, and underneath your eggs on your toast as well, just for a bit of extra saltiness.
Vegemite. I love extra
saltiness.
saltiness.
But you have to have butter. In my opinion, this is a great source of contention amongst Australians is whether you put butter underneath your Vegemite.
Oh, really?
And I come down hard on the side of yes.
Yes, okay.
It's too dry.
Yes on the butter.
Yeah.
Listen, you were doing this really funny thing last night on the mic where you were saying that you teach kids, so you have to just do that bit that you did, that quarter notes, and you'll love this.
Well, in Australia, we use the British terms for all these. So we actually say semi-breeds, minims, crotchets, quavers. But, I've adopted the American way, but I still have to work on my American accent. So I have to teach the kids that it's a half note and a quarter note, but we say in Australia quarter. Quarter, it's like got an H on the end. You don't say your R's.
That's like a Boston accent. Boston accents don't have R's.
You burn way too many calories saying your R's in Australia. It's as lazy as you possibly can.
Yeah, like Boston.
As little effort as possible. Quarter. Water. I'm going to work. I'm going to walk. I'm not going to walk. I'm not going to work. But that was very good. That was American accent was very good. It's just a little bit more effort. I feel like that's what I have to do.
Okay, so Australians are more laid back with this.
Yeah, it's just, just try not to move your mouth too much.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
All right. And you spent some time in Australia, didn't you?
It was years ago, but yeah, I spent
Tell us about that.
About just under a month. I was performing with a couple of music festivals down there, and I was nowhere near Sydney, where everyone, when you think Australia and when you think tourism, you think Sydney immediately. I was in Melbourne for a week.
Melbourne's better for music.
It's so much fun. Melbourne is one of my favorite international cities that I've ever been to.
Really?
But I actually spent 2 weeks in Tasmania.
Wow.
And I have seen more of Tasmania than the majority of mainland Australians have seen, and it's funny because I will always tell anyone, including Aussies, go to Tasmania. It is the most beautiful place. It is so amazing.
It's amazing, yes.
Now, Ollie Nelson. Who's Ollie Nelson?
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, that's your boyfriend. Hi, Ollie. He says yes, butter with the Vegemite.
He approves the butter choice.
He doesn't like butter on the peanut butter because he thinks that peanut butter.
Well, you don't need butter on it. It is butter.
Oh, you're on his side.
No, you don't need butter with peanut butter. Definitely not. Okay, well that's interesting. But some people even put butter on their roast beef sandwiches.
See,
I just put mayonnaise.
Now my mother and I both.
But I do like butter. I'm a big fan of butter.
My mother and I both really enjoy dill pickle and peanut butter sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone I say that to thinks I'm insane, thinks my mother's insane.
I'll always try
But
something. Though.
I'll try
I'll
that.
Do you
try
like
that.
dill pickles?
I'm not so crazy.
See,
I like-
you
yes,
have to
I'm
like
gonna
both.
try
But
it.
You know what? I like dill pickles. I don't like sour pickles. That's what I was gonna say. I love a good kosher dill.
yeah, and then do you like peanut butter?
Yes, but I'll try it. Listen,
All
I
I'm
put
saying.
peanut butter and apples.
What's the weirdest sandwich that you've ever had made for you by somebody else?
I
I got a
can't.
killer.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, because I'll eat almost anything. I'll try it.
So will
I will. I really. I mean, if someone gives me something, I'll try it.
Mm.
You know, you know what I don't like? Sea urchin, like in a sushi restaurant. And I love sushi, but that I don't really care for. It's one of the only things that I've eaten that I don't really care for.
What is it like? Is it
It's
like
like very slimy,
Mhm.
and I don't mind clams. Like I love clams. I love oysters. There's just something about it that it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I love liver and onions.
I can't do liver.
Yeah, see, everybody, there's certain things. I love escargot. I love calamari.
Yeah.
I love sardines. I love all that stuff that a lot of people don't like. Okay, so Cliff Saunders, what are you saying with mayo and lettuce? You mean the Vegemite? Cliff Saunders.
That is
Or
good.
dill pickle and peanut butter
Oh, dill
with mayo and lettuce. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
Well,
Vegemite with mayo and lettuce is really good.
Ah.
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to have to try a Vegemite sandwich. I'm
My mom-
excited.
My mom used to make
Gina Savino, my cousin, said you are adorable.
Well,
She is
we'll all just
adorable.
take that as a compliment.
Yes, that's good. That's really good. Oh, my
Wow,
God, definitely.
Tom Greenleaf peanut butter and that I don't
Bologna
know
is
if I would.
delicious. I've never
don't
tried
know
that,
if
but
I
I
would
do
try
love
that.
bologna sandwiches. It's actually one of my guilty pleasures.
Everyone has to try peanut butter with grated carrot and raisins.
That actually does sound good.
That's what
That-
my mom used to make.
Yeah.
Grated carrots
It
and
was good.
raisins. Okay, let's try it. So this seems to be a peanut butter theme.
Don't knock it till you try it.
No, listen. I will always take at least one bite of something, and then we'll go from there. Oh, peanut butter with lettuce and tomato. Cliff,
Lettuce and mayo. And peanut
lettuce
butter.
and all right. You know,
Listen, people
I'll
don't realize
try
that peanut butter is actually peanuts are used in savory dishes. All
oh,
the
that's
time,
true.
too.
That's
So it's
true.
like
And I
you-
do cook with peanut butter
Yeah.
sometimes, like
if you
shrimp.
like
I'll
peanut,
make-
like Thai peanut sauce,
You know
that's
what, you're right.
basically like an oily version of peanut butter.
Yeah,
in a
I
sense.
have cooked,
So-
made shrimp and thrown in with garlic and all that, and then thrown peanut butter.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're
really
right;
good.
it is savory.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was in a Thai restaurant last night. Bologna rules. Thank you, Ryan. I mean Brendan Ryan. Yes, but you're Irish, so you know the Irish love their bologna. But I grew up in Boston, so it was the Italians and the Irish, and I love bologna sandwiches. Bologna and cheese, Oscar Mayer, like the worst you can get.
I don't really understand the difference between all the small goods, like bologna versus like another type of. Like,
Oh yeah, there's so.
could you
Oh my
explain?
God, are you
Please
kidding
tell
me?
I know it's horrible.
No, so the Italians, there's bologna, right?
Yes.
And which is just kind of like it's just it's simple.
Okay.
Then there's the Italians. That's pork. Bologna is pork, but it's probably condensed. It's like a hot dog, really.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, it's like thinly sliced hot dogs, really.
Okay.
And then, oh my God, now Nutella is jumping in there.
Nutella.
Yeah, we love Nutella.
Yes.
But then we have salami, Genoa salami, supersada, capricole,
Okay.
prosciutto. There are so many kinds. Oh, prosciutto's my
It's the
favorite.
best, yeah.
It is the best. But they also have like these hard salamis that they're a small supersada, which is just condensed.
Uh-huh.
And those take like years to cure and hang. We used to hang them in the basement and just cure them there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is awesome. If you like salty things, salty meat.
Who doesn't?
Some people don't. And
I
a lot.
was vegetarian for.
Were
2
you?
years.
Because you know what? I usually ask my guests if they have food restrictions, and this week I didn't
Oh, I renounced it about a month after I moved.
because
here.
I think I would have known about it. Neither one of you has.
You did ask me.
Did I
yeah.
ask you?
And-
Oh, eggs. You said eggs, right?
No, eggs are good, but citrus. I tried. to
Oh,
stay away
right,
from
right. I
citrus.
asked you 2 weeks ago. Citrus, no problem. I don't
Feeling
think I
good.
put citrus in anything. And Emma, what's something that you're like? Definitely not.
With that, something I won't eat.
Yeah, you don't like, or
I
you
don't
prefer
think
not
there's
to.
anything on there that I won't eat.
I know, kind of
I
the
think
same
I
way.
eat everything. Everything I've tried.
I'm kind of the same way. And I've never been a vegetarian, although I don't judge it. If you're a vegetarian, good for you. And I can. Vegans, that's tough. My nieces are vegans. I don't
it's
know
hard
about
work.
that.
It's very hard to be healthy. I tried it.
Oh, my cousin Rena said you introduced me to escargot for the first time at the Magic Pan in Phantom Hall. Yes, Rena, do you remember the Magic Pan? It was this amazing restaurant. It was a French restaurant. They had made these crepes. I miss the Magic Pan. Do they still exist? I love crepes. I wonder if I could ever make a crepe. I could try.
Spam.
Better
John
bologna than
Bronson.
spam.
Actually, you
Yeah.
know what? I hate to say it, but I like spam
I have a
too.
funny
Oh,
story
I
about
don't
You-
need spam.
you have a funny story about spam? Go
When I
ahead.
was about 9, I had to, for school, I had to make some sort of a kit that was representative of the book that I'd been reading at home. And I was reading like some detective novel about children, you know, a group of like the Secret Five or something. And they went into the forest and they were camping and they had spam as part of their like survival kit. And so as part of
Wow,
my kit,
because
to
it
show
lasts
us
forever.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
like a can of spam.
It's like a Twinkie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I opened it up. And I made my year 5 teacher very ill because of the smell of the spam. And that's my only memory of that year at school.
That
is
was
making
also
my
American
teachers
food that we were forbidden to eat, but we would eat
Spam?
spam.
Yeah, smell.
Yeah, and we used to make hamburger helper. That
Out
was
of
like
spam?
no,
Okay,
that
good.
was like we used to sneak it when my dad wasn't home on Thursday nights where we worked later at the shop.
What's
'Cause it-
hamburger helper?
Hamburger helper is this like package.
It is
Package-
wrong. It
It's
is
wrong,
on
yeah, and
many
it's just like
levels.
powders basically, and you add it to hamburger and then noodles, and it's
Okay.
it's very
Ryan
wrong.
Bristol's here.
Ryan Bristol, hi Ryan.
I
and
miss you, Ryan.
Caleb
And hopefully you and CT are doing well out there in Denver.
in Denver. Calo Mesa has joined us, the handsome Calo Mesa. So many nice people have joined us tonight. Please feel free to share the video. We had a little bit of technical difficulty at the beginning of the show plugging into the radio station with the mic that I was using. But did we work together when we get on the Mac. So we are broadcasting through the radio station with the Mac and also on Facebook Live. Usually I use 2 computers. But Jimmy Bell, once again, saved the day. Thank you, Jimmy Bell. We really appreciate you.
You were also amazing in the crisis, I have to say.
Yeah.
You know what?
Very
I-
poised, very
I
calm.
try to just stay calm, and you should have seen me when I first started doing the show. This is episode 44, by the way.
44.
Oh, wait. So Gina Savino, who's my cousin now, so her dad and my mom are cousins, and they're Italian. So we only ate this when my dad was home, too. You see, what was it with Italian dads? You had to sneak American food. Isn't that crazy? Because it was, Gina, I don't know if this was your situation, but it was an insult to your mother's cooking. So if we couldn't use ketchup, would you use ketchup? Like if my mom made a steak or something, and you go to reach for the ketchup or the steak sauce, you couldn't use it because that would be insulting your mother's seasonings. So we had to wait till my dad would leave the table. Sometimes I'd pretend like I wasn't eating my steak. Dad would leave the table, and then my mother, who was the best of the best, would always sneak me the ketchup. So isn't that funny? That her dad was the same way as my dad. But then when my Italian relatives came to visit from Italy, my dad's relatives, they wanted to go to McDonald's. They also wanted to try American food. They were like, we want to try that. And ketchup was like, they were fascinated. I know.
If I'm traveling abroad and I see a McDonald's, I apologize to the locals on my country's behalf.
Do you?
Yes,
I
do.
apologize to the
Yeah.
locals for our government on
Well,
our country's behalf these days.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day. Janet Zipper has joined us. What was it with the shit on a shingle, Gina? You're right. I don't know the terms that the Bostonians use, but that's a Boston term. Okay, so now I want you to quickly talk about your family and the musicians in your family.
Yeah, sure. We were talking about influences growing up before, and it's funny because my parents were actually in a band
Really?
with 4 or 5 other adults from our hometown, all parents of friends of ours, and they would rehearse in my basement. And so all the kids were over doing whatever we wanted to do, like playing games and watching TV. But meanwhile,
your parents were in the
my parents
basement.
were rehearsing cover songs, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, the
Oh,
Eagles,
that
Joan
sounds
Jett.
wonderful.
I mean, and so I grew up listening to my parents and their friends' live versions of like classic 70s folk rock songs.
My favorite.
So that's kind of my
favorite
jam.
genre for music, 70s.
Yeah, and my mom, all of us sing. My dad plays guitar. My youngest brother plays drums.
Wow.
And when I'm home for the holidays, often my family will get together, and I write 5-part arrangements.
Do you really?
Of Christmas
What
songs.
do most
and
kids
we
do? They
them
go out and get high.
Yeah.
Joshua goes
So-
home and writes 5-piece arrangements.
And they sight read them because I have both of my brothers have remarkable ears, and they both sight read music really easily. And My dad is content to hold down the bass, and it's all good. But
wow.
yeah, and it's
How
a lot
cool.
of fun. So we all kind of we're called the Von Cardis family singers
I
every
love
now and
that.
then back in my hometown.
That's cool.
So
And Emma, your dad is a guitar player, right?
Was a guitar player in his younger years, yes. But there's not that much music in my family. There's lots of music lovers, but I seem to be the only musician. My grandma played piano.
But it was encouraged. Obviously, you went to jazz
Yeah,
camp, right?
My parents were so supportive, and they always wanted me to just do whatever was drawing me
Isn't
in,
that
so
nice?
I'm very lucky, yes.
All right, so we're running a little bit out of time. So tell us what about your upcoming gig, so we know.
Sure. I have a gig coming up on the 24th of June at Silvana in Harlem, doing my original music with the amazing vocalist Olivia Chindamo.
Silvana is Silvana.
That's right. And I'm at the Duplex Piano Bar next Monday, filling in for Darius again.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
And the first Thursday of every month at Soup Gold's Request Room for a happy hour.
and that is where? Where is that? 16th. I
That
think?
is 26th Street.
And, like, 6th
near
Avenue.
One Line, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Joshua, tell us what you
Yeah,
got
so
going
I
on.
mentioned Broadway Sings Kelly Clarkson happening in June at the Highline Ballroom. But the next thing that I actually do have coming up very soon, Jamie Shapiro, who some of you may know as Ellis from Smash, the TV show,
Cool.
season 1. He is a singer-songwriter extraordinaire, and he is doing a concert of his original music that I'm playing keys for at Green Room 42 on Sunday, the 20th of May, this coming Sunday at 9:30. At Green Room 42, and I'm
Where
actually
is
not
Green
sure.
Room 42?
It's,
That's
it's
in
inside
Soho,
of the
right?
Yotel. No, it's on
Oh,
it's on
right.
42nd and 10th.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So it's if you go in the Yotel and up to the 4th floor,
That's a
where
cool
the venue
space.
is. Yeah, it's new. They're up and coming. They're trying to book a lot more stuff. And so Jamie Shapiro will be there live with a band and some backup singers doing his original stuff this coming Sunday. At 9:30.
Amazing.
So yeah.
All right, so we are coming to the end of our show. We want to thank Jim Bell because he helped save the day, and you guys really helped me too. Okay, so we're going to sign off. I'm going to tell you, please come back every Tuesday, 9 p.m. What's the Story with Maria? We'll always try to Facebook Live, and we're on armeddigitalmedia.com. You can find us in podcast on iHeartRadio and Spreaker. Just type in What's the Story with Maria, and you will find us. Good night, everybody. We appreciate and love you.